Welcome class. Today we are going to learn about lesson 7-4, and it's just some more things you need to know about similar triangles. First we have the triangle proportionality theorem. It just says that if we have a line that's parallel to one side of a triangle and it connects with the other two sides, then it separates these into segments of proportional lengths. What that means is that this parallel line here separates this triangle into proportional parts. This side over this side will equal this side over this side. And we can write that using a proportion, of course. We have 21 over 9 is going to equal x over 6. So if we know that these two lines are parallel, then we know that we don't have to find the whole side like we've been doing, but we just have to set them up as a proportion. Okay, and then once we have the proportion, we cross multiply. That gives us 21 times 6 equals 9 times x. Okay, we're doing the butterfly method here. 21 times 6 is 126. That equals 9x. 126, for those of you that like to see the work, divided by 9, that goes in once. 36, that is 4. So x would equal 14. Okay, and then the converse says that if the triangle has a line in it and it does cut it into proportional sides, then the line is parallel. Okay, so the first statement says that the lines are parallel. The second one says that if they're proportional, then they're parallel. Same thing, just different sides of a coin. Okay, then we have the mid segment of a triangle is parallel to one side of the triangle, and it's half the length of that side. Now, if you'll remember, mid segments on trapezoids were half the length, or were you had to add both bases and divide by 2. This one just simply says that whatever this is, like let's say this is 10, this is going to be half of it, because that's the mid segment. It cuts this side in half equally, and it cuts this side in half equally. All right, and to show a problem with that, we have this here. I know that this side is equal to this side, so I'm going to put an 8 right here. And if this is 12, then this is 12 also. Now I can just set up my proportions. I have, I'm going to go ahead. I don't even have to do that. I know that this is a mid segment because these marks and these marks say that, so that I know y is half of 22. So I'm going to divide 22 by 2, and I get 11. 11 equals y. Real easy. And finally, if 3 or more pair lines intersect 2 transversals, then they cut off the transversals proportionally. That means we can set up a proportion. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up this one over this one. 5 over 3. X is going to equal this side 6 over 12. Then we simply cross multiply. 5 times 12 is going to equal 6 times 3x. And I guess I should put a dot here because there's an x. 5 times 12, let's see, that's 60, equals 18x. We have to divide by 18. Divide by 18. And for those of you that like to see the work, let's see. I want to take a stab at 3. 3 times 8 is 24. 2, 3, 4, 5. And I get 6, which means I'm going to have another 0 drop down. Or I'm going to take that 6 and put it over 18. And 6 over 18 reduces down to 1/3, so I have 3 1/3. If I had kept it and put a decimal, I would have gotten 0.33333 remainder, And so it's just easier sometimes to write it as a fraction. Okay, so let's do some examples. I have 8y, and I'm going to put that over 8 plus 4y, and that's going to equal 2x plus 3 over 4 minus 3x. Okay, do you notice how I set that up? I just have them as proportions over top side over the bottom side equals top side over the bottom side. Really not that much of a big deal, okay, as far as setting it up. But I forgot something right here. Do you remember what this means? It means that those are equal, so I don't even have to worry about this up here. I'm going to go ahead and say that 8y equals 8 plus 4y. I'm going to subtract my 4y. So I have 4y equals 8, and when I divide by 4, I get y equals 2. Okay, if I know that these are equal, because they're proportional, these two have to be equal. So 2x plus 3 has to equal 4 minus 3x. I notice some of you are still struggling with this algebra. I'm going to take this 3x and move it to the other side. It's negative, it's frowning, so I want to make it smile again. So I'm going to move it over here. This is going to be 5x plus 3 equals 4. I'm going to subtract 3. And I get 5x equals 1. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. I have x equals 1/5. Okay. And now it's your turn. Okay, this is the problem that you're going to work on your assignment sheet. It's going to be labeled Monday because even though you weren't here, Monday is your assignment is to watch 7.4. So you're going to set up the proportion and you're going to find out what x is. Okay, good luck on that. I'll let it run.